Now, your Central Coast forecast from KSBW Weather.
This is Phil Frame in for Ariana Ariza, and this is the view in Monterey from the Embassy Suites. An hour ago, it was almost completely clear. You could just see a few low clouds off in the distance. Look what has happened. The low clouds and fog are moving in very quickly. Temperature now at the Monterey Airport, it's cloudy, 62 degrees, and around the area we have temperatures mostly in the 60s, although we still do have a few places in the 50s. And here you can see these clouds, and these are actually being enhanced by a weather system, a fall-like weather system far to the north, which is causing rain right now in Crescent City. In fact, the temperature currently in Eureka is 57 degrees, and temperatures are in the 60s and 70s throughout the Central Valley, 91 in Palm Springs, and 71 in San Diego. Later today, temperatures are going to be well below normal in the Sacramento Valley, almost fall-like, 70 in Eureka with rain, and that's because of the southerly winds. Only in the north coast of California could you get near record high temperatures and rain at the same time. Temperatures in the 90s in the San Joaquin Valley, 107 in Palm Springs, probably one of the few places that is really uncomfortable in California today. Now, here's the situation the last 12 hours. You can see the rotation around this upper level low pressure area. This actually has come down from the north. This is like a fall-like weather system, so it has cold air associated with it, and it is, of course, bringing rain to Northern California and the Pacific Northwest. Now, this is the situation this morning. It's located offshore, just north of California, and it's going to move to the north and be replaced by more high pressure from the southeast, so we should see less cloudiness along the coast by late Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and slightly warmer temperatures, not much, maybe a degree or two. And then after Tuesday or Wednesday, we get another weather system similar to what we're experiencing now, moving down from the north, and it's going to have a cloud shield, and this is essentially a dry cold front, which is going to be moving through the area according to the model on Friday. So we're going to keep the temperatures down, especially in the inland areas, for the next few days. Today, they'll be much like they were yesterday, maybe a couple degrees cooler, depending on where you're at. Temperatures ranging from 65 in Half Moon Bay up to 85 in Los Gatos, and everybody else in between. Generally fairly comfortable. Also fairly comfortable in the Santa Cruz County area, with temperatures ranging from the 70s to mid-80s. Temperatures ranging from 65 in Moss Landing, getting up to 84 in Morgan Hill and Gilroy. And here in the Salinas Valley, 70 is the expected high in Salinas to 84 in King City. And in the Monterey Bay area, temperatures in the mid-60s right along the seashore, getting up to near 80 in Big Sur. Next 8 days, temperatures remain pretty steady. Less low clouds Monday and Tuesday before we get another shot of moisture on Friday. And in the inland areas, temperatures pretty steady, pretty comfortable, with temperatures peaking out in the 80s. No 90s, no 100s. Just 80s.
All right, comfortable is a good forecast. All right, thanks, Phil.
Sure.
Drone video from the Monterey Peninsula Unified School District, if we could pull it up here. Well, once we have it, it shows that the first stadium light pole being installed by a crane at Monterey High School. Here it is right here. Got some aerial views. The lights were installed following a lengthy court battle with a neighborhood group who opposed the environmental concerns, I should say. The project also included stadium upgrades and other track and field improvements. The project has been planned for more than 6 years. And a devastating car crash left Santa Cruz local Claudio Morales partially paralyzed, but he refuses to let that limit what he can achieve. He is now an accomplished adaptive surfer, but his journey is not just about riding the surf. It's also about inspiring others to see beyond physical constraints. Action News reporter Jake Flores has his story.
There's a saying in surfing, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. Claudio Morales knows all too well about the waves of life and needing to surf his way through them, figuratively and literally. He's a lifelong surfer, originally from Chile before moving to the United States. He attended Chico State, And just one day before his college graduation, his life would change forever.
I was riding in the bed of a truck and we were going at a high speed and we were just riding in the bed of a truck like any other day, and we had the bad luck of hitting a pole, and I was laying down and I went into the cabin and snapped my neck.
From that point on, Morales was hospitalized, in a coma, needing a breathing tube and left completely paralyzed. Once he woke up, he had one thing on his mind.
I said I might not walk again, but I definitely want to surf again. That's gonna be my goal. The year after my accident, on the anniversary of my accident, my friends got together and they got me out in the water for the first time. I felt alive again.
From then on, his focus was on adapting to his new life in and out of the water. His apartment is customized to fit his wheelchair. Even his van is specifically tailored to him. He continued to embrace his new way of life and a new way of surfing, using a board specially made just for him with a team of people that help him in the water. But he couldn't just surf for fun. His competitive spirit wouldn't allow him to. So he turned to the world of adaptive surfing, taking part in the World Tour Adaptive Surfing Series, riding on some of the biggest waves Mother Nature has to offer, all while having no use of his body from the chest down.
I somehow found myself in the final, my first competition. I have no idea. That was a good time, getting second in my first competition, and that was the beginning.
Rising through the ranks, he's second in the world in his division. His latest win came in Costa Rica, now preparing for the World Championships in Oceanside, California in September. What many might look at as impossible, Morales has made possible through hard work, passion, and persistence.
I want my story, I want my life, I want what I do to be something that they can see and they can join, they can take it, and they can also get in the water and just continue raising the level of adaptive surfing, and ultimately they can find stoke in life again after a spinal cord injury. I'm really grateful to be in a position that I can live a life that sometimes I forget that I'm in a chair.
Reporting, I'm Jake Flores, KSBW, Action News 8.
What an inspiring story. Still ahead this morning, the Mpox outbreak in Africa has been declared a global health emergency. More on the spread since the start of the year. It's more weekend coverage you can count on from KSBW, Action News 8. On the Health Watch this morning, the World Health Organization has declared the ongoing Mpox outbreak in Africa a global health emergency. This is the second time in 2 years that an outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo has spread to neighboring countries in Africa. Since the beginning of this year, more than 17,000 cases and more than 500 deaths have been reported in Africa. Researchers say current routine blood tests are not a reliable way of diagnosing long COVID. Specifically, researchers looked at whether a COVID-19 infection led to changes in routine blood biomarkers such as platelet counts or protein in urine. That may be a way to predict long COVID. They found little differences in biomarkers between people who had COVID and those that did not. The CDC is seeing an uptick in the respiratory illness parvovirus B19. The virus is common, but infections dropped with precautions taken during the COVID pandemic. That led to a reduction in immunity, so more people are now getting sick from the virus. Washing your hands frequently, keeping surfaces clean, could help stop the spread. A new study in the journal Cancer is now projecting a rise in cancer cases and deaths among men, with cancer cases expected to double worldwide in the next 25 years. Action News reporter Rena Roy has details.
A new study out in the journal Cancer predicting a rise in cancer cases and deaths among men by 2050, with new cases expected to go up from just over 10 million to 19 million worldwide, and global deaths expected to rise 93%.
There are some reasons that scientists look to. Number one, biological reasons. Also, men are more likely to engage in high-risk behaviors, for example, smoking, alcohol, and there's also an occupational exposure. Men are more likely to be factory workers and be exposed to toxins.
Experts say they also may be less likely to access health care, and there are fewer screening options specific for men. The risk is highest for men living in developing countries and of older age.
What we see is that in older men and the aging population, the risk is even higher. We're talking about higher than 100% increase when you look at the year 2050.
Experts say early detection is key. That means getting screened regularly for colorectal cancer at age 45 and consider beginning prostate cancer screening at 50 years old.
I use average patient age or average risk for a patient. If you have a higher risk, for example, if you have a family history, or for black men, you should start having these discussions earlier. It's a sign of strength and intelligence.
Rena Roy reporting. Researchers say back in 2020, global cancer rates in men were already 43% higher than in women. The gap is only expected to widen in the coming decades. Coming up, more Car Week events are taking over the Central Coast. How one is raising money to help local nonprofits. That's coming up.
Now, your Central Coast forecast from KSBW Weather.
This is Phil Frame in for Ariana Ariza, and this is the view from Fremont Peak. Clear skies, except if you look off in the distance, those are the low clouds. They have been marching in this morning. Most of the coast was clear during the night. Then after the sun gets up, the low clouds start moving in. Here in Salinas, we are still sunny with a temperature of 61 degrees, but we take a look at our satellite imagery. You can see lots of low clouds offshore, and then if you look to the north, those white clouds, that's from a weather system that's causing rain over Northern California. So this weather system is helping to enhance the low clouds, which is why they've been rolling in at a time when they're usually rolling away from us, burning off usually this time of the day. And temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Later today, we're going to see statewide temperatures in the 80s in the Sacramento Valley, 90s in the San Joaquin Valley, 70 is the expected high in Eureka. That's 1 degree shy of a record high for this state, and they're going to be getting rain at the same time. So kind of interesting weather up there. Temperatures in the 70s and 60s and up to 85 degrees down around Los Angeles, 107 in Palm Springs, pretty uncomfortable. Now, over the rest of the nation, if you're near the Great Lakes all the way into the Northeast, it's actually going to be pretty comfortable today. It's when you get away from that area, you start getting down around Oklahoma City where they're expecting a high of over 100 with humidity. It gets very uncomfortable. There is a weather system which is moving through, and it is expected to bring the possibility, the slight chance of some severe weather around this afternoon and evening, mainly right around where the frontal system is. And then also there's a slight chance of severe thunderstorms as well over the Pacific Northwest. That is kind of unusual. If we take a look at the situation over the eastern Pacific over the last 12 hours, we're watching this weather system, which is affecting the Northern California, causing rain over up around Eureka, Crescent City, and you can see the rotation around it. According to our Futurecast forecast model, here's another view of it. You can see it's just offshore, and it's going to be hanging around for the next day or so before accelerating to the northeast. So we'll get a bit of a break, excuse me. And then another weather system is going to drop down and give us even more clouds for around Friday. Temperatures, well, we expect to see highs in the 60s, 70s, and 80s throughout the area. Most places pretty comfortable today. Next 8 days, we expect to see not much change in the temperatures, although along the coast, we'll have less than the usual amount of low clouds and fog beginning on Monday. And then for the inland areas, very comfortable temperatures, 70s and 80s.
Looking nice no matter where you go.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, thanks, Phil.
Sure.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, listen up, as some major changes for the real estate industry are taking effect today. Our Washington correspondent Jackie Fusco joins us. Now, Jackie, these new rules are the result of a nationwide settlement earlier this year.
Yeah, Christian, federal lawsuits accuse several major players in the real estate industry of colluding to increase commission rates. Now the settlement is changing how brokers and agents get paid. New rules are shaking up the real estate industry starting on Saturday.
It's very pro-consumer and hopefully will lead to greater transparency.
The National Association of Realtors claims that commission rates were always negotiable. But critics say because of anti-competitive practices, home sellers have historically paid a 5 to 6% commission, usually split between their agent and the buyer's agent. Now moving forward,
sellers are no longer required to offer to pay buyer agent commissions, and any offer that they make cannot be listed on the multiple listing service.
Another change is that potential buyers will have to sign written agreements with their realtors before touring a home.
Those written agreements must disclose the amount or rate of compensation that the agent will receive.
Those contracts also must specify that commission rates are fully negotiable. Advocates say consumers should aim for 2% or lower and never sign a contract that you don't understand.
The settlement makes possible but does not guarantee real price competition. For that to take place, consumers need to be proactive.
Now, some predict that these changes will lead to lower commissions and therefore lower home prices overall. But the National Association of Realtors says that it's not entirely clear yet, noting that there are much larger factors such as interest rates and inventory that shape the housing market. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jackie DeFusco, KSBW Action News 8.
Earlier this week, Concourse for a Cause on Ocean Avenue and surrounded streets in Carmel by the Sea. Many cars and drivers participated this year and saw everything from Porsches to Rolls-Royce to Ferraris. All, of course, for a good cause benefiting local nonprofits. Action News 8 reporter Lauren Seaver has more on one of those recipients of those funds.
We're going to get a little heavy, then we can grind a little bit off at the end.
This is the first classic car. Students in the auto body shop at Rancho Cielo in Salinas are getting the opportunity to work on a 1952 MG TD.
No one in the state has a program to teach car restoration. And so it's critical.
It's the first year for the new program at Rancho Cielo, a vocational training and high school education facility with more than 200 students. The nonprofit organization offering 7 options, including a culinary academy, ag tech, construction, and an auto and diesel repair program, expanding this year to include classic car repair courses as well.
A lot of the skills that it takes to work on older cars aren't around anymore. Everything's changed so much that the old cars and the new cars have nothing in common.
And those are the skills Thomas Forget is hoping to keep alive in our community. The skills needed to maintain pre-1982 vehicles in a county known to be an epicenter for the classic car industry.
Safety glasses are a must.
With help from car restoration experts all over the Central Coast who volunteer their time to mentor students, the classic car restoration class taking on this as their very first project.
Dent repair, rust repair. In some cases, with the old cars, it means fabricating a new part.
I did the driver's side of the fender. I restored it, and I put Bondo and all that. That's what I learned, and also the doors.
My job was taking it apart, basically. You know, the whole breakdown, taking off the fenders, the bumpers.
Turning this into this. And now this fully refurbished MG heads to several Car Week events, including the Creme de la Creme Concours d'Elegance on Sunday.
I feel like we actually did something.
Yeah, because before this, I didn't have no motivation or nothing, but when